Hello guys, welcome back to another live stream in our channel, our weekly live stream. Supposed to have one yesterday, but yesterday I was a bit held up. But here we are, and there's plenty to actually talk about when it comes to Chelsea. Now, what in particular I want to talk about and address is Chelsea's next fixtures. How are Chelsea actually going to cope up with the Champions League? We're saying that Chelsea are going to head back to the Champions League. How are Chelsea going to cope with the Champions League? How are Chelsea going to cope with these fixtures? And I just want to share something here on my screen because there are some fans who are talking about this heavy run. Chelsea are coming back. Their first four fixtures are away fixtures. Chelsea will play almost 4 games away from home. Chelsea are going to get back to the Champions League. Chelsea have tough fixtures. And looking at the next 10 games for Chelsea, what you are seeing is very, very, very problematic fixture. From their away trip to Bayern Munich, their away trip to Manchester United, the home game against Liverpool, the away game against Nottingham Forest. It doesn't look quite rosy for Chelsea. And if you're watching this video, this live stream now, you can say a hello, leave your comments with regards to the camera, the microphone, where you're watching us from. I'd really, really appreciate that. And some of you also wanted to join our group where we do some bit of tactical discussions and also plan these live streams. You can also join our group by joining our live stream. So Chelsea have very, very tough fixtures. Chelsea at the moment are currently sitting second in the Premier League table. One of the best positions that we'd actually expect Chelsea to be. Considering Chelsea out of the traditional top 6, it's only Chelsea who haven't played a tough team so far. Manchester City have played Tottenham. Manchester United have played Arsenal. Liverpool have played Arsenal. And what you're noticing is that Chelsea is the only team that did not get. So, yes, Rambling, nice to meet you from Nairobi. And we are really finding it quite problematic. Patrick from Uganda. How are you, Patrick? You are always loyal to our live stream. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And when you look at this, you realize one thing. I've actually seen the training pictures. Palma is back in training. Enzo is back in training. Lavia is back in training. Benoit is back in training. And we have a series of players. Trevor Chalobah, wow, he's in training. And I'm so happy about that because I'm seeing that we are actually increasing our depth. Now, when you look at Arsenal, you realize that there are a lot of Arsenal players who are away. They are not actually in training, but Chelsea are getting their players back. And one of the players that I'm really happy to see is back is Romeo Lavia. I really hope that he can play at least 5 games consecutively. Because when you look at this fixture, there's some games where we need to just depend on Lavia. We can even decide that the Brentford game, Lavia starts alongside Enzo. So that Caicedo, who has been playing in the international break, can actually get a rest this weekend and actually play against Bayern Munich and Manchester United, because you really need to ease these players. Melon, CFC, thank you very much. Thank you very much. I really appreciate all of you who have tuned into this live stream. You have your questions. Leave your comments, your questions and your comments there. I would really like to interact with them before the panel joins. So when you look at it, you realize that Brentford away. Brentford, when you look at their fixtures per se, I don't think that Brentford has the teeth that they used to have last season. They have lost Mbuemo, they have lost Wissa, they have lost Wissa, they have lost Mbuemo, they've lost Nogard, they've lost Thomas Frank. So that Brentford side has really lost some key and integral players in their team. And that's why I'm saying that despite Chelsea actually getting this kind of fixture, Brentford at like a time like now, I expect that this is a fixture where Chelsea can actually look to get all the 3 points. Now, let me just go through your comments as I still continue. Good thing you're doing here, brother. Never give up. Thank you very much. I really appreciate the compliments and as well as the encouragement. How do you tactically set up against Bayern Munich? Do you think we'll change our shape in Europe? I want to go and look at that Bayern Munich game. I will probably watch their game this weekend, and now I have to be giving you videos every 2 days, every 2 days, every 2 days. Is Caicedo injured? I have not heard anything with regards to Caicedo's injury, but I still think he's okay. I think probably it's because he's in the international break. So let me just check something here. Moises Caicedo. No, Caicedo is quite fine. He's quite fine. So I think he's probably going to come back. He's playing for Ecuador at the moment. So I'm starting to talk about Brentford. So I'm talking about Brentford. I'm saying that they are not such a potent team as they were last season. This is a team, this is an away game. It's a West London derby. Again, we've had close to 4 London derbies. We've played Crystal Palace. We've played West Ham. We've played Fulham. We are now playing Brentford. Those are 4 back-to-back London derbies. So the Brentford one is even more tight because I think they're also from West London. So it's going to be very competitive. But I do believe that Chelsea has what it takes to get the win here. Now, the next game is going to be the first Champions League game for Chelsea, which is away at Bayern Munich. Now, this away game away at Bayern Munich is where I expect Maresca to actually bring in players like I said. Like this weekend, if I am thinking about starting this game against Brentford, I'd probably go with a midfield combination of Lavia and Fernandes because they have been training. I don't know whether Lavia, I think we can probably use Lavia for the first 60 minutes of the game, then bring Caicedo later on, because I think getting Caicedo into that game immediately after that international break, after traveling all the way from Ecuador, I think he might be a bit fatigued. But with Caicedo, he's always ready to play. Hello from Zimbabwe. Wonderful to see you from Zimbabwe. How's Harare? Anyone from SA? Anybody from Nigeria? Any friend from Nigeria? Anybody from SA? Anybody from the UK? From the US? Really appreciate your greetings here. So that is what I'm saying. So the Bayern Munich game is one game that Maresca will look at when he's preparing for the Brentford game, because the Brentford game is super important, especially since these are one of the winnable fixtures that we have. This is one of the winnable fixtures that we have, because you know very well that with Brentford away, it's a game that if Chelsea are supposed to do something this season, probably challenge for the league or even look to solidify their position into the top 4, then going away to Brentford will be important. Again, it's not an early kickoff game, which is actually favoring us. And it's also not a mid kickoff game, it's a late kickoff game. So I think that even allows the team the allowance. And also it's within London. So it's good. It's very bad that you're coming from an international break, then your fixture immediately after the international break is away to Newcastle. That is a very tough fixture. You're from the international break, then your first fixture is away to Newcastle. Those are games that you just go and you find yourself losing. Now, the next one is Bayern Munich. I've said Maresca's system. Who should start between James and Gusto? I saw Rhys James playing for England, and against Brentford, I think Maresca would prefer to have Rhys James in the Bayern Munich game, and therefore might prefer to start Gusto in the Brentford game. So I think Maresca will more likely stick to Gusto. I think Cole Palmer will also start that game. I am not familiar whether João Pedro will get a nod to start that game. Maybe he can start that game. Pedro Neto probably can even start that game. I don't know, maybe Gittens or Garnacho is going to get that thing. And Garnacho is really struggling in the Chelsea training. I've seen some videos on that. How are you, Chris? Is talking about Malawi and He's watching from Malawi. So it's really, really interesting to see that. And the next game I want to talk about is the Manchester United game. The Manchester United game. The last time that Chelsea won away at Manchester United was the last time Chelsea won away at Manchester United was when Chelsea were actually looking to play them in 2013. That was the last time Chelsea won. Chelsea beat Manchester United the last time Manchester United won the league. That was the last time, and it was a one-goal win from Juan Mata. That is what actually secured Chelsea the 3 points at Old Trafford. Old Trafford has been a very, very difficult ground for Chelsea. Very difficult. And when I look at that game, let me just I want to check I want to check what time that game is being played, because what you notice is that the time in which that game will be played on Saturday, and it will be played at 7:30 in the evening. It will be the last game on Saturday, and that is going to be a very tough game. I don't think that a lot of people should underrate the strength of Manchester United, but I know they are not such a good team, but it's a game that Chelsea have not won. So if you really need to maintain statements, if you really need to put that to change the mentality of the players that you can actually go to any club and beat them, then you have to change that mentality that Chelsea always go for a draw or a defeat at Old Trafford. No, you should actually change it. It should actually be Chelsea actually go to get wins at Old Trafford. So that is a game that I think we can win, but it will all depend on Maresca's lineup. It will all depend on the way Chelsea set up and the injury situation of the club. If we have our full team, if Maresca sets up the best lineup, and if the mentality of the players approaching that game is super serious, then what I'm expecting is nothing short of a Chelsea win in that game. And I have a feeling somewhere that this is the game where Chelsea will actually turn their fortunes against Manchester United. Somebody's talking about Garnacho goal, and I can see it. Yeah. These are those strange games where you actually get players like Alejandro Garnacho actually scoring against their team. Manchester United only ever shows up for games against Chelsea and Manchester City, despite being on poor form. I think when you look at those games that Chelsea have played Manchester United, you realize that there are different factors. There are some factors where you find that Chelsea were not so serious when it came to the way they were actually lining up, and they were not so serious with the way they are actually playing. Like in the last draw, I think Chelsea had an opportunity to win that game, and you found the way Noni Madueke and Nicholas Jackson wasted chances, and also the way Chelsea started that game was not quite great. Robert Sanchez gave away a needless penalty. So I think in this Manchester United game, it is that game you go to try and get a 1-0 win. You just get an ugly 1-0 win and then you leave. You don't need to look to overcomplicate to win 2-0. If you win 2, it's okay, but you just approach it. If Chelsea can have the mentality they played against with PSG going against Manchester United, one thing that I've realized about Chelsea when they play Manchester United, even when Manchester United is off form, is that they go into the game with this mentality that, oh, Manchester United is a poor team, we should beat them, this and this, and then they end up not beating them. But if they take Manchester United as a strong team, as a strong opponent, as a team that can actually create problems for them, then what I expect is that Chelsea will actually put up a strong performance. The next game will be a Carabao Cup game, because I actually don't know this team, because to me it looks like Master Shifu. Looks to me like Master Shifu, and yeah, it looks to me like those martial art masters. Or what is it? I don't know. I don't know. So yeah, so that is one thing that I'm also wanting to say. That game, I think we should give the young players to actually get some opportunity. Brentford at home, Brighton at home. Brighton are a tough team. Brighton are a good team, but at home, Chelsea should be strong enough. And if Chelsea are able to come from this run, if Chelsea get a win over Brentford, a win over Bayern Munich, a win over Manchester United, a win in the cup, in the EFL Cup, they will automatically carry on that form to Brighton, where I think if they may get these first 4 wins, they probably get the 5th win, they probably get the win at home against Benfica. And now the challenge will be, can Chelsea beat Liverpool at Stamford Bridge? How long is Esugo out? How long is Esugo out? That Esugo has just had his surgery. So that leaves that Chelsea will have to stick with Andres Santos. And I don't know why Esugo got his injury. I don't really understand. Let me just share something here with regards to that. So, yeah, I think he will be out for some time, probably some couple of months. I think it's a muscle injury. It's a hamstring injury, so I think he'll be out for a month. We should comfortably beat Brighton. It's a London derby. It's away from home. It's from the international break. You see, the one thing about international break is that big teams usually lose their top players from countries. So you find like in England, you've lost players there for Chelsea who are playing there. Now, when you come to club football, you realize that the smaller teams or the weaker teams have not sent a majority of their players. So it's like their players have been on holiday while the players from the big teams have been playing. So that is what actually makes them to be stronger, because you might find that Brentford, almost 90% of the squad is back for training. And if 90% of the squad is back for training, what do you expect? You expect them to be sharper. You expect them to have more energy. You expect them to run more, to look to keep the ball more. So when you compare that with a player like Caicedo, who's flying from South America from around Wednesday or Thursday, then he's supposed to rest on Friday, then on Saturday he's supposed to play, you realize that it's such a tedious affair. So I think the international break is usually very tough when you're dealing with with players from South America. Chelsea have very many players starting for them from South America. We have Estevao, you have João Pedro, you have Moises Caicedo, 3 integral players. And all those 3 integral players during the international break, they have to take planes that take tens of hours to reach their country. Then when they reach their country, they're supposed to relax, then they're supposed to get back to training, then they're supposed to play. They carry that fatigue back into the plane, then travel all those kilometers back so that they can be able to prepare. Some of them even arrive on Thursday, they rest on Thursday, then on Friday in the evening, they're back in training. Now the manager has to reschedule the team training. The manager has to move the training from in the daytime to actually in the evening, so that the players can actually get the hang of what the manager is doing. So that is one of the reasons. But I do believe that we have an able team. We have Chalobah, who didn't go. I don't think Tosin went. I don't think Palma is back. Lavia is back. Fernandez didn't go. I think Neto will probably be back. He's just here in Portugal. Portugal is not quite far. Cucurella, another player who has played a lot. And I think, let me just check about Spain. Spain national team. I'm so surprised because they won. They just beat Turkey the other day. And what you notice is that Cucurella played the full 90 minutes. That's another player who I think is going to be on the red list. He's playing too many games. So you have Cucurella. He's going to come back. He's going to start to play that game. It's just the international breaks are a bit tedious. Manchester United without club legend Onana is a huge loss. Yeah. Manchester United lacking Onana, but I have not seen the new goalkeeper they have signed. I'd really like to see him and know him, but what I'm saying is that it does not matter who's the goalkeeper, because they also had Onana. When they had Onana, I think we just beat them twice, but we still didn't win at Old Trafford. You win at Old Trafford by defending well. If we can manage to maintain our defense, it will be good. And when I'm speaking about our defense, I also want to maintain this thing about the defense. I want to talk about Robert Sanchez. Robert Sanchez is that Robert Sanchez has started to have those shaky moments, and in those shaky moments, Robert Sanchez has been unable to actually keep the ball out of the net, and he has had to be saved twice by the VAR. So I think Sanchez needs to get back to his mojo. He needs to get back in form, because whatever Sanchez is doing is actually not uh, looking well. The defense looks well, Tosin looks well, Chaloba looks well. So it's up to the team. So far, Chelsea have just conceded one goal. Arsenal have conceded one goal, and Arsenal are tipped to actually be the best team when it comes to defense. So if you are seeing that Chelsea, out of the games that they have played, they have just conceded one goal, then it clearly shows that Chelsea are actually building a stronger defense. I'm sure that Brentford won't cause us problems. They don't possess the attacking prowess they had last season. Yes, I know very well that losing Mbuemo is a very huge loss for Brentford, because I know one thing is that Brentford, without players like Mbuemo, without players like Wissa, they don't possess that threat. And also without Thomas Frank, because Thomas Frank, I think, so that's why I'm very comfortable with that Brentford game. If we were playing against Thomas Frank, if we had players like Mbuemo, we had players like Wissa, we had players like Noga, then I would be very scared about this game. But because we are going against a new manager, they have lost their key players, I'm not so scared. I think we can go there, we can dominate there, and we can even get a comfortable 3-0 win that will see us getting 10 points or something like that. They suffer mostly from jet lag. The difference in time zones is what is hard for South American players, not the distance travel. Yeah. Because probably you travel from South America in the evening, then you arrive in London, and it's in the evening the next day. So what happens is that you've not experienced the day. You've just traveled in the evening, you have arrived in London in the evening, or you travel in the morning, then you arrive in London in the morning. So I think that's what he has just explained, and in my opinion, that's quite true. Can't wait for Pendas, man. Pendas, yeah. Pendas is a good player, very good player. Ivan Maina, Estevao is playing very well, and Palma is back. Do you see Garnacho and Gittens getting chances? Garnacho and Gittens getting chances. Yeah, Garnacho and Gittens. That's what I'm saying. In the Brentford game, I expect Maresca to do a whole lot of changing. I expect I expect probably we'll start with Gusto or Reece James. He can even start with Reece James for 60 minutes, then bring in Gusto. And then he can probably start with Reece James, with Tosin, with Chaloba. Then he can start Hato, or he can decide even not to start Reece James. He can decide to start Gusto, Chaloba, Tosin, and Hato. Then he can decide to have Lavia and Fernandez in midfield. Then he can decide to have Gittens or Garnacho. Then decide to have Palma in that number 10. Then decide to have another player starting as right wing, maybe Pedro Neto. And then having Gil as a striker, or even playing João Pedro. It all depends with the way Maresca will look at the fitness of the players and how the players have actually traveled and how they look. We're winning easily. I don't think it's easy. There is no easy game in the Premier League. How are you, Isaac? I'm seeing you on board. Wish you all the success against the Lions of Teranga today. Caicedo didn't play for Ecuador last game. Okay. But I have not heard that he's injured, so probably I think it's more to do with no, they're actually playing tomorrow, so probably he has been maybe Caicedo has been left to relax so that he can play against Argentina. I think so. Yeah, because they're playing Argentina tomorrow, and Argentina is a very, very tough team. It's a very tough team. So you can see that Ecuador are currently fourth. They have drawn a lot of games, so they will really, really need to win against to try and win at least against Argentina. Because if they get a win against Argentina, then they actually move into second place. Puts them in a very strong position when it comes to qualifying for the World Cup. But definitely starting today. In my timeline, it's saying that it's to okay, yeah, it's today, it's today. So hopefully he plays today, and hopefully he's not injured because once he finishes his game today, I think he will be back in London, most probably on Thursday or on Wednesday in the evening. On the weekend, it's either Gu will start or Bonanote. Bonanote is not a striker. Bonanote is not a striker, so I think maybe he'll get his debut off the bench. But I think probably, yeah, Gil might be the one who's starting. I would really be happy if Liam Delap was available because when Delap is available, I think these are some of the games that you actually slot in Liam Delap. So my essence of making this live stream today was trying to analyze: are Chelsea actually going to get the right needed balance to play in the Premier League and in the Champions League? And so far, what I'm happy about is that I'm seeing a lot of players are actually back in training. Bonanote as the 10. No, 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 no. I don't think Bonanote is going to start. Cole Palmer is back. Cole Palmer is back. João Pedro, yeah, João Pedro will start as a nine. That depends on the state of João Pedro. If he's not played in the Brazilian team and is quite okay, I think he will actually be ready for that game. He'll actually be ready for that game. So Bonanote will be ready for that game. Delap is injured to sometime in November. Yeah. He chose the right time to be the wrong time to get injured because now we have only one striker and we treated your very good friend Jackson bad. So, but he's also getting the same treatment from Bayern Munich. I think the coach will rotate because they have big game. Bayern, it will be the biggest test against Brentford, which will give our depth, our squad depth to show what they got. Maybe it will cost us. I don't think it's going to cost us. I don't think it's going to cost us because we're going to have players like Palmer starting that game. I think Palmer will start that game. I think even Neto will start that game. I think Gittens will start that game. If you have a front three of Palmer, Neto, Gittens, and then you have João Pedro up front, or even McGew up front. McGew is very good at pressing. That's one thing that people underrate. McGew is very good at pressing. So you have that player there. Then in the two players in the pivot, you have Lavia and Fernandez. Then you have Rhys James. Then you have Chaloba. Then you have Tosin. Then you have Cucurella. Or I think Cucurella, since Spain won yesterday, I think Cucurella should be traveling back because I think probably they are through with their games or probably they have a game tomorrow. But you can see there is intent. Maresca can even decide to start Hato in that game. So it's something that is quite interesting. Personally, I want Hato to start having mind Cucurella needs rest before the Bayern game. Yeah, I'm also agreeing with you there. 100%. So I would like to invite Isaac. I think he will have to give his contribution just for a few minutes because I think he's also watching a game today. So Isaac, how are you?
I'm fine, Tyrone. How are you? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes. How are you? Yes.
I'm fine, thank you.
Yes. So I think in 6 days or 5, we'll be back. The Premier League will be back, and Chelsea will be playing later in the night on Saturday against Brentford. After the international duty, I know that many players are going to rest as Brazilians, Caicedo. I don't know about Gusto. Actually, everyone, even Achimpong, who played for under 21 in England. So, but as I was saying before, we have enough a good squad to compete, even if all those players will be rest. And for me, it's not an issue if they rest them, if they rest Estevao, João Pedro, and Caicedo. So we can play, and I think Cucurella also played all 2 games with We all love Miss Isaac. Thank you very much, Christian. He played 2 games with Spain, but still we have, I think, Chaloba was there, rest. Tozin was there. Jorel Hato will get his chance, and Lavia is back. Fofana is back. We have Gittens. Garnacho was in the training all these days, and so we have a squad. Gio is there, so the players are there, and we're gonna compete. And I think this team, if I can call them second team, can also beat Brentford, because we have a tough game during a week. We have to travel to Munich, and in my prediction, I was like, the worst result we can get at Munich will be a draw. We will not lose there. We will not lose, because all those players will rest, and then they will be ready to play against Bayern Munich. So we are just waiting the weekend to come, and then we can enjoy. Actually, if I have to add something, is that we have Iran. I think by end of September, we have 7 games, if I'm not mistaken, from the weekend to the end of September. 7 games. We have to play Brentford, we have to play Bayern Munich, we have to play Manchester United, we have to play Lincoln in Carabao Cup, and Benfica in September. So I think we have enough squads, and those who were injured are coming back, like Lavia, and I don't know now how we can manage Lavia this time, because Esugo got injured, and he got a surgery, I think, today. So Lavia must be there. I don't know now. It's up to Maresca to manage him. But actually, we don't want to have more injury. Now it's enough. It's enough. We have Colwill. I know Palma is back. Lavia is back. Fofana is back. Esugo, okay. We don't worry about Esugo because he was not in the starting 11, but Andre Santos is there, and then I think it's enough. We don't want more player to be injured, and even Colwill and Esugo are not part of this. Okay, are not fit, but I think we are good enough to compete.
Yes, thank you, Isaac, again. And you have very huge fans here on the comment section area. And if you also want to be a huge fan of Isaac and ask him questions, the link is there. You just click the link, you join the live stream, you ask Isaac any question that you have. Now, Isaac, I have this question.
Yes.
When you look at factoring in jet lag and looking at our Saturday fixture, I can say that players who play in Europe can actually play that game, because I think traveling in Europe is not quite hard. Like a player like Cucurella can actually play the Spain game and immediately get the plane and head back to London for his recovery. That is something that players like Cucurella and Pedro Neto can do. So those are players who can be available on Saturday. However, we also have a group of players who are traveling from South America, in particular Caicedo, João Pedro, and Estevao, who I think, especially João Pedro and Caicedo, will be super important against Bayern. They will be super important. Now, are you seeing a scenario where Maresca can bite the bullet and actually have Neto, Palma, and Gittens, or Neto, Palma, and Garnacho, and Gil actually playing as a number 9, and actually having Hato starting at left back? Because I think that we can probably have Hato playing as left center back, Tosin, and then Chaloba, and then we can have Malo Gusto probably starting, or you can even decide to play Palma as that right winger, and then play a player like Bonanote as the number 10, and then have Gusto actually overlapping. Do you see those kinds of scenarios that Maresca can actually look to explore?
100%. I'm right. I'm right. If Palma is fit, I'm sure Palma will play as a right winger, and then Maresca will play Gusto because he wants, as we play against PSG in Club World Cup, he wants to play Palma as right winger, and then Gusto as a fullback. So he will be overlapping when Palma come inside the pitch with the ball. Um, I think Jorel Hato will get also his chance to play. I know Cucurella didn't have a long trip as South American players, but Cucurella play 180 minutes with Spain, and in the last game I was worried about Cucurella. I was worried because Cucurella is giving everything on the pitch with Spain. I've watched that game. Then I was like, he's doing some other controls in here. You see, I was like, this Cucurella is if is in charge in this game, so will be finished in Champions League. He's giving everything for Spain. He's not like African international player. When they play for their club in Europe, they give everything. When you call them to play for national team, of course they play, but they don't give themselves 100% because they know that they have some duty to do for their clubs. So I think Brentford, of course, as you said, there is not a minor game in Premier League. Brentford still is a Premier League team which we have to take seriously, but they are not strong as last season. The departure of Bemo, of Wissa, of the coach Frank.
And
So
Noga.
I think and Nogat, of course. I think it's an opportunity to give to Jordan Hato. If they play Cucurella, okay, I will be happy. But I want to see Jorel Hato. He has to get some times, some time and on the pitch, and then we have to see how he is playing. We have to judge him because since he came, he gets some minutes as a substitute, but we want him to play like 70 minutes, 80 minutes, and know how he can be playing with the new team. And my player, Garnacho, I want to see him as well. I think he can get some minutes. I don't think that Maresca can play the both Brazilian João Pedro and Estevao. I don't think, but let's see. Maybe he will not play them as well as Caicedo because Lavia is back. I think we can play Lavia as a sitter, Fernandez as a number 10, and then Cole Palma as a right winger. Just to prepare the game against Bayern Munich. That's what I think.
Now I have a question for you. I think, okay, just we'll touch on the question that Chris is. I've also seen that Kyle has joined. I will also give Kyle some time to ask questions. But I have a question for you, personally, Isaac. What do you think is more important, getting the 3 points against Brentford or getting the win at Bayern Munich?
The 3 points against Brentford is important, and to get we are traveling at Bayern Munich. We should not lose. Let me finish. We should not lose this game against Brentford. Not now, because it can affect the morale of the team. We are good. We are second, and I think we have a best attack right now.
We need to maintain the momentum.
Yes, we have to maintain that and goes at Bayern Munich as a team which will be, maybe we can finish first in the coming weeks. We can be finished first. So it's better to be keeping that place going in a strong position and playing Bayern Munich as maybe first, maybe as second. Then going to Bayern Munich, please, we should not, if we got a worst result there, it must be a draw.
Actually, I am not. I am, in my opinion, I think the 3 points against Brentford, to me, they are super important because maintaining the momentum in the league, to me, is very important. I don't want us to drop or
Yes.
lose to teams that we're supposed to in games that we're
No,
supposed to be.
we should not.
So for
Yes.
me, it is better to even, let me say this. I know it will be controversial. It is better even I win at Brentford and I get a 1-0 defeat at Bayern Munich. It's not the end of the world in the Champions League because I know that there are games we are going to win.
Yes.
However, I
Yes.
wouldn't be mad if we got a draw over there. Though I think we're going to win that game. I think we're going to win that game. I think we're going to win that game. I don't know how we are going to win it, but we are
Against
just going to
against
grab and
Bayern
pass.
Munich. Bayern Munich is a big club. Bayern Munich has a good players, but their coach, who is Company, I don't think Company is more better than Maresca. So I think if they have is a big team, if they have good players, we have also good players, young but good, and we have a coach which can look face to face with Company, so we can do a good result. So for the team which we highlight right now to play against Brentford, I think they have also to get their opportunity to show themselves to the coach that they are there and we can rely to them. We cannot rely only to all those players in international duty. No, we should rely also to them. So they have to prove themselves on beating Brentford, on giving that momentum to the first team which will play against Bayern Munich.
Thank you, Isaac. I really appreciate it. And also, Wedege has talked about that he can live with a honorable defeat at Bayern Munich, meaning it's a 2-1 defeat, a 1-0 defeat, a 3-2 defeat. So it's not a big deal so far because you can actually win other games in the Champions League. That is something that Chelsea
I
can
want to
actually get
reply
away
to Wadege, my friend Wadege. I want to reply to them. Actually, the defeat against Bayern Munich will not be a worse thing or a bad thing. Look, Chelsea under Maresca. What is happening after a defeat? See, our last defeat was in Club World Cup against Flamengo. Yes, Flamengo. Then after that, see the momentum. See, in the Premier League last season, our defeat was against Newcastle in the circumstance that we all know. So after that, you see how they. So they, if we lost the game against Bayern Munich, we know that it's a big team, but it will not be like a worst, like everything will stop. No, the player and all the staff will know that we drop 3 points. Now we have to focus to gain all the games which will come next.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And that's one thing I also maintain. And in my opinion, the 3 points are super important. Even before we actually play Liverpool at Stamford Bridge, we really need that momentum. I think by the time we are playing Liverpool at Stamford Bridge, I want us to be ahead of them with probably we are either
Yes.
ahead of them or if we are behind them, we are behind them around 3 points. But before you even continue, I want to just give Kyle a minute to ask something or give his opinion on something. Then we can probably, yeah, get going. So, how are you, Kyle? And where are you from? And if you can have your camera on, you will really appreciate it.
Hello, hello,
Ah,
guys.
fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah. First of all, Isaac, Bayern Munich have a better team than us, and they have key players that can have they can decide the game easily. For example, Olise. Olise is a very good technical player who can decide the game at any time. So as Kane, you see. So you cannot say we're not that bad because you can go band for band with them in terms of quality. First of all, our mid is one of the best in the world. So that Bayern Munich game, it will be very important for us to reintroduce ourselves in the Champions League again. So
So
it will
according
be
to
interesting.
according to you, Kyle, what do you prefer? Do you prefer a win over Brentford or you prefer a win over Bayern Munich?
Honestly, I don't mind losing to Brentford and winning at Bayern's yard.
Hmm. Interesting. Now, you Chelsea is one of the teams that is currently unbeaten. Isaac also has a question for you, so I will finish and then he'll ask you. So Chelsea is one of the unbeaten teams in the Premier League. Would it be fashionable if Chelsea are losing their unbeaten to a team like Brentford, which has lost a coach? They have lost their best forwards. They have lost their best midfielder.
It's not fashionable, but at the same time, we need the big win. We need a Bayern Munich win. Brentford, leave them. They are underdogs. We can deal with them later on the season. But this Bayern game, it will even send shivers to Barcelona and the other teams coming up that will mean business. So we really need this Bayern Munich win.
Okay, you're using it as a form of mentality for the team.
Yes, exactly.
But Isaac has talked about the team actually collecting themselves from a defeat. So if they can lose to Bayern Munich, I think they will probably take the Manchester United game super seriously.
Personally, I think Maresca will really rotate the squad. I think so because people like Cucurella have played a lot this season. International beat, international club level. So as James, I don't like the way England is using him as overlapping fullback because we have tried so much to keep him fit. So there, I hope Gusto will start and then Hato, maybe Tosin and Chaloba will maintain Enzo or Santos. Let's rest Caicedo. Let him rest at least for once. That's what I really
Yes,
want.
Isaac.
There in front, give Gittens minutes. Yeah.
Okay,
Isaac, you
Kai.
can.
Coming back to what you were saying about the game against Bayern Munich, you talk about Holise. You can talk about Ken or whatever. I don't care. Sometimes we minimize the quality of the player we have. When you talk about Holise, I can tell you that Holise will face Rich James. If you talk about, I don't know, Musiala is not there, or I don't know, the other winger, Diaz, who came from Liverpool, Kukuhera will be there. Ken will be there, but Chaloba also will be there. And you know the performance of Chaloba last time, or from the beginning of the season. So for me, as I said, Bayern Munich have a good players, but we have also good players, good young players, and they can compete. So now for you, you prefer the lost against Brentford and to win against Bayern Munich. I disagree with you. Against Bayern Munich is not a final. Is not a final. If it was a final, I could say yes. If we lost against Bayern Munich, who is probably the big team in our group, so for me, it's not a worst result, and we can collect points from others. And then we need the win against Brentford. Don't minimize also the Premier League. Why? Because winning the Premier League or being a top 4 or top 5 is what bring you in the Champions League. So how do you want to lose again Brentford, who maybe can be amongst the club who will be relegated in Championship? to lose against them to go and win to Bayern Munich. No, we have to keep this momentum. Premier League is also important.
Especially to me, I find Premier League super important because I'm in this title race in my head. So when we start losing to teams like Brentford, then I'm going to get really angry. Wedege is saying that if you disrespect Brentford United and play Chelsea B team, then Chelsea deserves to lose. So I'm not saying we are playing any B team. I'm just saying that, like in my opinion, even the lineup that I will do when I'm previewing the Brentford game, I have seen that Tosin has not gone for international duty. Chaloba is still there, which is good. So the players that I'm resting Cucurella in that defense. Sanchez will start, but I'm resting Cucurella in that defense. It's too many games. I want him to rest so that I can have that energy against Olise, because I think Cucurella is one of the best defenders actually in that wide area. So I really want him very up for Olise. Then in midfield, I would rest still Caicedo, or I will bring these are players. Caicedo is a player that I can bring in the 60th minute when I take out Lavia. So Lavia will start the Brentford game for 60 minutes. Then upon the 60th minute, then now I can introduce Caicedo now to manage the game, to boss the game all the way to the end. Then in attack, I will probably rest Estevao. I will probably rest João Pedro. But I don't know the situation between João Pedro, because João Pedro is super important for both games since we don't even have a striker. But with Brentford, I can play McGew. You know, one thing about me is that Chris likes to say that I don't like young players, but I also actually like McGew. I was happy with him back. I was happy with him during the Conference League. I think he played well. I think he's a player who has a lot of energy when it comes to pressing. He's actually a good finisher of the ball. I've not found a situation where McGew has wasted chances, and he's usually so aggressive. If you want to see him, just go and watch his Conference League goals. This guy was super aggressive. He has scored in the Premier League when he was playing for Sunderland. Just last week, he scored. So I would play him in that game.
No, it was the Carabao Cup.
He scored in the Carabao Cup. It was the Carabao Cup for Sunderland.
It was not the league.
Yeah. But I'm saying with Maresca, what he generally needs from a 9 is a person who can lead that press. You see, and a person who can occupy the defender. So I could start McGill in that game. Then I can have Palmer and Neto and Gittens behind him. So I can have Neto and Gittens on the wide areas. And I think that's a strong enough team to actually win the game. Then probably in the Bayern game now you have Cucurella back in the team, you have Caicedo back in the team, you have Reece James back in the team, you have Pedro Neto back in the team, you have Estevao back in the team, and then now you have a strong team against Bayern. Yes, Isaac?
Yes, so actually you've said everything about the squad, about the team to face Brentford. So the team is there. Guiu, you said everything about Guiu. Guiu can do the role of Liam Delap. Trust him, and he can play. He can play against Brentford. And see the rotation we can bring. As you said, the two centre-back, they didn't go for international duty, so they are there. Gusto is there. In midfielder, we have Santos, we have Fernandes, we have Lavia. So I don't see where we can lose against Brentford. I know it's still a football game, but Chelsea will win. And we need that win to boost the game against Bayern Munich.
Yeah, that's why I'm actually even optimistic about that, because if you win that Brentford game, then you go ahead and the chairman is here. Hello, chairman.
I'm no chairman. I'm just you know, if you have a president, you have the minister, you have the the DC, and you have like the district chairman, and you have the normal citizens. And then when you cross to normal citizens, you find a shovel, you dig, then you find me under there. Then I'm the lowest of the lowest. So don't
What
put.
about what about Jackson? Where does Jackson fit in that hierarchy?
He's not even on that scale. My heart. It can't take this pain. The pain is too much for me, and I've accepted that. Okay, haters bullied him out of the club, unfortunately. So, well, they didn't give him a break. So but okay, we'll see. Now that Jackson's away, we shall see when things start getting tough in the winter. December, no, December. When does Chelsea always lose? December, January, when we go through a tough time there. When our João Pedro, and all those guys there. When the weather is crap, it's cold, and they're not feeling it, and no, this is not the Copacabana here. I don't like this, and the form dips. This is where you need the tough guys like the Jacksons. Gooey, you just be talking about the Mark Gooey there. I'm surprised you actually mentioned a young guy. But anyway,
I actually like Gu. I like Gu. You think that I don't like him?
But you like him because for that one reason, he's that shithousery, that fighter, that things when he will get dirty, he will get in between. He's not scared to get a tackle. He goes in head first. He's that old school type with more technique and more speed. But he's just been unlucky in the Premier League, the games he's played, where he's been close but no cigar. But obviously in the Conference League and Carabao Cup, he's been potent. So I just think he's 5% more, and that guy will be prolific.
I think when you look at the scenario where he's coming in to play for Chelsea, when Chelsea are actually struggling with getting players, managing players' minutes, and you know very well that our star player, the player who sent Jackson to Bayern Munich, is not going to be ready to play the Brentford game. You realize that Gil can actually do that job, probably even better than Jackson.
Okay, let me ask the panel an interesting question here. If you have to go player for player. So in this Chelsea, the main team there, which players would you say are mentally strong, mentally weak? When my questions are like, let's say if you bench, if let's say Pedro Neto gets benched and he's now become a substitute player coming in and out, will he be mentally strong and he won't sulk and he will be still strong and be a professional? Or this is what I'm saying: which are the strong players and which are the weak ones mentally? In general.
Let me say this. Okay, but that's a very good question. One player that I have to give it up to him that you like so much is Enzo. Enzo is mentally strong. There's even a time earlier on last season when Maresca had actually benched him. He was even playing in the Carabao the Conference League. He was relegated to the Conference League, and he wore the captain's armband, led the team well in the Conference League until he got what Maresca was talking about, what Maresca wanted from him, and then he was brought back into the first team. And despite him not starting the season well, because don't let the 2 goals he has scored or the assists that he had lie to you that Enzo has been well. No, Enzo has not been playing well. But he's that player who I always want on the pitch because he oozes that form of leadership on the pitch. You'll see him talking to players. You'll see him going to referees. He's very, very bold when he's on the pitch. And even off the pitch, the way he handled that situation, being a first-team player, being relegated into the second squad, proving yourself and coming back into the team, that's one player I can say that has a strong mentality. So that one I can say. Players that I think have a weak mentality, one of them is Fofana.
You will see. Well said. Well spotted. Wow. Respect.
So Fofana has a weak mentality because when you look at whatever he did in his Instagram, it showcases that this is a player that he was out injured for an entire season. And the season before, he was also injured the entire season. So he's a player who, yes, Maresca trusted. He was working for Maresca. But when he got injured, even when he got injured the last time, just recently, when Maresca said that Fofana will not be able to play the rest of the season, Fofana came out and said, no, I will be able to play. But he was not able to play. The medical team said, you cannot play this season. But he had tried to argue with the coach that he can play. See, these are the players who have that weak mentality, because they think that if they don't play, they will struggle to come back and actually prove that they need to get back to the position that they are playing. And that is why I think that Fofana is going to start creating problems, because he is expecting that he should start over Chalobah, because probably he earns more than Chalobah and his transfer fee was higher than Chalobah. But Chalobah is playing better than him.
But wasn't he the one who unfriended all Chelsea's social media, whatever? That is actually weak mentality. I know he said because he wants to make a fresh start, all that nonsense. But I think that is actually a weak guy sulking that his legs are made out of matchsticks, and it's not his fault. He's got weak legs. He's got weak legs. They're not straight. They're bent. They look like a what you call bow and arrow, the ones we go hunting with in Africa. And so that is maybe the problem. He's unfortunate, biological, whatever. But still, you should. If you look at Chalobah, you just mentioned Chalobah, and I'll throw in Tosin there. Tosin. Now you've seen how they've been not guaranteed a starting place. In and out of the squad, but when they get the chance to play, there's no sulking. It's 100% concentration. It's 100% professional, and that is very, very, very strong mentality where you can play one game Saturday, next Saturday you're on the bench, but still you don't cause problems. You don't sulk. Another one, strong mentality.
Thank you for that Tosin shout. It's also one of the strong mentality player. He puts up a superb performance, and then the next game is benched. Thank you.
He should be centre forward. Remember, I suggested to you should play him as centre forward, but you all laughed at me. But,
no.
What? We need a big, strong centre forward.
The England lineup has just dropped.
Yes,
The
Kai.
England lineup has just dropped. England lineup has just dropped, and James.
Give us the names.
This is not good.
Give us the names. We want to hear. We can't.
James, Rice. I'm saying James is already starting. He's starting again for England today.
And you see one thing I don't like about Thomas Tuchel with England. He's playing Reece James as a wing back, and he knows very well that you play Reece James in that position where he has to run back and forth. That's how Reece James actually gets injured. And Tuchel is insisting on playing him there. I think we need to ask Todd Bowley to sack him from the English national team.
But hey, hang on. So you guys, I know most of you guys, you worship this guy Thomas Tuchel. I'm not one of them. I think he's Mr. Anti-Football, and his tactics. You see in England, they're failing to beat Andorra only 2-0. Come on, it's the tactics. You cannot play with five at the back against Andorra. He's scared. He's scared to play open attacking football. He's safety first, and I don't see if he's an upgrade on the other guy Southgate before him. I just don't see them. Why the point?
Yeah, Tuchel
this
is a
guy.
winner, though. That's the difference.
Sorry.
Tuchel is a winner.
He didn't win a lot with Bayern Munich. He won. By the way, he won a title that Nagelsmann almost won 3/4 of it. He had a very terrible time by there at Bayern Munich. One thing I have to agree about with Wedege is that Tuchel is more of a tournament coach. He's not a league coach.
True.
He can even win the World Cup, but he's not a league coach. He's not a manager who's going to dominate the league like Pep or even a Klopp or even Arteta. Arteta has done well, finishing second 3 times. I know people laugh at him, but he's done a good job at Arsenal. I don't think Thomas Tuchel gives you that.
Even you do a good job at Arsenal. Give me that bag of money. Come on. That much to spend. Come on. Let's be serious here.
No.
He spent Arsenal. Was Arteta? I don't know why you brought him up, but he has spent so much money. He goes underneath the radar. Everybody just says Chelsea. But Arteta, he's been spending money left, right, and center, and still second place. And I think this probably be his last season. If he doesn't deliver this season, I'm sure they're probably going to get rid of him, and they'll probably bring in. I was listening to debate. They were debating. This is a good question. Another good question for you. Our legend, which we stole from Arsenal, Fabregas. Now, if he went back to Arsenal, would he be still a legend there, or is it he became a legend in Chelsea? And so what is the, what would be the outcome? Should he go back to Arsenal, be their manager, or he's no longer an Arsenal legend because he made his name at Chelsea in reality?
I don't think that that legend thing actually matters, because we've seen stranger things in football. He can coach Arsenal. I don't think he left Arsenal with any bad blood. He just left well. He was very respectful. But I don't think Arsenal are going to sack Mikel Arteta, because one thing I also have to say is that Stan Kroenke, the owner of Arsenal and the Kroenke football franchise, actually are contented with that playing in the Champions League every season. You remember that was why they retained Wenger, because Wenger ensured that they could play in the Champions League and win the FA Cup. Because playing in the Champions League by itself ensures financial sustainability at the club. And Arteta has been able to give them that sustainability and that, what can I say, that kind of, sustainability. Arteta has brought that. So they are comfortable. They don't want to disturb the status quo, because maybe you bring another coach and then you are struggling like Manchester United, and then you're like, we should have retained Arteta. So I think Arteta is one of those coaches. If he maintains this top 4, top 3, and maybe one season he sneaks and wins the league, you're probably looking at another Arsene Wenger.
But you forget, Arsenal has toxic fans. They were bullying. They will reach a point there, like with Wenger out. Remember that Wenger out campaign, which really went completely crazy. And it starts with that. Somewhere they will start. I mean, they've been listening to the AFTV. They are Arteta out. They're beginning. They're sort of like frustrated because the way they played against Liverpool, they parked the bus. They were scared. They were scared to lose, and they didn't invest enough in the. Even though they have a fantastic team, Arsenal, let's not lie, a very, very good team. So against Liverpool, the second half, they thought, we'll play for the draw.
I have been really trying to do that analysis. I've tried to do it, and every time I sit down, no, I can do it, because one thing that I realized about that Arsenal game is that they had nobody in between the lines. Nobody was playing in between the lines. So what you saw is that Declan Rice would move in between Gabriel and Saliba. Then Merino will drop deep alongside Zubamendi. And then what you realize is that now the fullbacks will stay wide, but the wingers will not come in the field. So Arsenal behind Liverpool, between the Liverpool's attack and midfield lines, there was no one. But you see, that position is in Chelsea. You find Fernandes there, you find Palmer there. Sometimes even Maresca has 3 players. He has João Pedro, Palmer, and Fernandes there. But Arsenal didn't have anyone. So even when they receive the ball, there's nobody to pass the ball to.
They played long ball to Madueke. Let Madueke do everything by himself. That was all the hope.
They play the ball to Martinelli, and Martinelli.
Martinelli was actually an extra DM that game. He wasn't an attacker. He played as DM. He didn't play as attacker. That was their problem. They had too many DMs, and as you said correctly, there was nobody in between to bridge the gap between the midfield and the attack there. So this is why it just ended up with long balls to Madueke, and the poor old Madueke is thinking, "Oh my God, what did I sign up for? This a whole day like this? What I'm going to be tired by the time I finished." And God bless him, he played very well. He was the best player in that team, Madueke. But you crossed the ball, nobody in the middle. So what was the point? It was weird game, very weird game, not very entertaining at all. It wasn't what we expect from a top game. It was a very chess match, where there were 2 good teams, and they were both. Even Liverpool was scared in the first half to lose, because they know they're very successful. They're very suspect on the counter attack, because the way they attack. So they knew Arsenal. We better be careful. But the second half is almost like Liverpool threw caution to the wind.
You see, it's because Slot realized that they have nobody in between the lines. You see, if this guy Arteta started Eze and Odegaard as the two players, and then he had only Rice playing as the solo pivot, or even starting Rice at a fullback who's actually coming in field, then he would have had a player occupying that space. But you see now, I think I will have to do that analysis with about Arsenal. They don't have that creative player who's linking the midfield with attack.
Oh, well said. Well said. Wow.
And, okay, you're talking about Eze, but Wedeke, can you say something about Odegaard? I know I've touched enough. Can you just make a conclusion about
Odegaard?
Not good enough.
He's a frustrating one because Odegaard on his day he's very, very good. But I don't know if that captain's armband is ever since he became captain. Ever since he came back from the injury. Remember, he had that terrible injury. What happened to him? I can't remember. Something happened. He had a long injury. What happened? Is it leg or something? Do you recall? Is it last season or the season before we had the terrible injury? And ever since then, it's almost like he's been trying to fight to get his true form, the one he had when he came from Real Madrid, kind of thing. But he should be that player. And is he missing that guy up front there, Havertz? I think he's missing Havertz. You can say what you want about Havertz. People call him a donkey and whatever and all that. But he is actually very, very important for that team there. And when he's not around, Arsenal don't look the same attacking-wise. So, but I don't know. Arsenal, they have good players. Their defense, wow, man. But their wing backs, so the left back, I'm not too sure about him. The right back, he's okay. And then you got this guy here, the hospital patient here. What's the afraid? The best player. He's always injured. What's his name? The Nigerian guy. No, the Nigerian guy. English guy. Brilliant player. Saka. I love Saka. Wow. I wish he played for Chelsea. But
no.
What? He's a great player. I don't care what you say. He's always injured. This is the problem. He's an excellent player. But the problem is his fitness is suspect. But on his day, that guy is unplayable. When he gets Saka on his day, he's unplayable. He's a
good player. I don't know why Kyle you are doubting.
No. Saka is, if you don't have an overlapping fullback, Saka is not good at all. Saka depends so much on the overlapping fullback.
But you see, the problem with You see, the problem with Saka is that Odegaard, who's supposed to be the number 10, who's playing alongside him, is actually not putting Saka in those 1v1 situations or allowing Saka. Do you think if Palmer plays with Saka around that side, you think Saka is the same player? No, Odegaard is usually just using his hand to look at his hair, getting his hair and passing the ball back, That's what he does. He's just like this. Christian.
But it's different though, because Saka is not even good on V1. He's not even that good. All he does is cut in. No, he's not good. Come on, guys. He's not.
You're something wrong with your TV. I'm telling you. You need to get it.
No, I just man. That guy, I don't rate him at all. I don't.
Arsenal, when he's not playing, Arsenal's not the same team. Let's be honest.
Let me tell you something, Kyle, about Saka. I'm a Chelsea player, but let me tell you something. Saka is good. He's really good. I have seen the way he cuts in. I've seen the way he attempts his shot. He's a good player. Let nobody lie to you that Saka is not a good player. He's a good player. It's just that Cucurella deals with him well, but he's a trouble. He's a problem. Now, imagine if we had Saka down the right.
No. I prefer Neto. Let Neto be there. Let Neto be there. No, Saka ain't it. Come on.
Let's be serious here, man. Come on. Let's come on.
No. Saka's not it.
You see, with Saka, his most electric thing about Saka is when he's dribbling. He's got, first of all, a very low center of gravity, so Saka, he can twist and turn defenders. They don't know if he's going to go on his right foot, left foot, and then his best element of his game, he's able to like what do you call that, to shoot a shot off from unexpectedly. You know, he's so fast. He's almost like a quick trigger. So it's very, very hard to block or defend, because normally a striker or somebody going to the box, you can actually predict he's about to shoot and you've got time to block it. But with Saka, it's so quick and such a short. You know, he doesn't need to put his foot right through, because he's got such a good technique and he's fast. And that is what makes him so hard to defend against. And if you go physical with him, he's going to dive and he's going to get a penalty. Maybe he's not quite like Mo Salah diving, but you know, I like him, and I like when he's fit, he never seems to tire. He runs and runs and runs and runs and runs. And if you try one dribble, he will fail. He won't give up, and he just keep going. So he has a very strong mentality, but unfortunately, physically, he seems to get injured a lot. So I don't know what the hell's going on with him there. But otherwise, he's a good player.
He's a good player.
Arteta tactics.
No. It's not about tactics. It's not. Why is Martinelli not? Why is Martinelli not playing well? And he's in the same team.
Yeah, I'm saying it's all because of tactics. The injury is also included. Arteta, the other last season, you remember Timber coming out with that podcast saying he was played with an injury against PSG. And then the Liverpool game, remember?
I want to win an Arsenal game with Timber there. He disrespected our manager last season.
Yeah. We need him there. But at the same time, remember Saliba. Saliba was injured during warm-up, but still Arteta played him.
In this Liverpool game?
Yeah, he was already injured in the warm-up, and he came out after the press conference and he said he was injured, but he still played him. Why play him? Why was the substitution?
See, let me tell you something here, and I want to back what Christian has said. You see, one thing I've realized about Arteta, he has that Pochettino in him. He has that Pochettino in him. He is that manager who can push you close to it, but he's not that manager who can get you over the line.
Ooh.
Because getting you over the line, it needs mentality. You need a manager like Pep. Pep is a manager who knows that the team that is ahead of him is probably 7 points ahead of him, and there are 12 games to go, and he will sit down and tell his team, don't worry, you just win your games. And his team will win the 12 games, even if they are third, and then they will win the league. Why? Because Guardiola tells them, you win your game.
Can you just interject there very quickly? What you said about Pep there, very, 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 very interesting. So you're saying that Pep he's a finisher. Arteta is a builder. Pep is a finisher. Fair enough. But with Pep, I think psychologically he sees his players. So way like Arsenal, you know, they always have that traditional dip in the January, whatever, February. You know, always Arsenal's going to dip. Even Chelsea, December. I think Pep, he can spot the players. He can see this one here, the mentality is going down or the form is going down. Maybe he reads the horoscope or the stars or something. You know, he does some kind of astrology or something. He sees that this one he's on the way down. I'll bench him. You've seen how often sometimes where it's Pep suddenly he's just benched one of the big players and he said, why is this guy being benched? And then you bring in some youngster or something or some other unknown player. And it's because I think he knows that, okay, this one needs a rest or this one needs, his form is going to dip. And this is how he was being able to keep this team so strong for the whole entire season. I think he's so psychologically, he knows his players psychologically. He must do some kind of psychology, astrology, and I don't know what have you, Ufiti and all that juju stuff there as well, probably as well. But that's another story for another day.
I agree with you, Chris. And one thing that I also have to say is when you look at the fixture, yes, Arsenal are going to get a dip. And one thing I have to say about Arsenal is that I've seen their injury list, and I know the excuses are coming. The Champions League is also coming. So Arsenal is bound to drop many points. In
Who's
fact,
injured?
now
Who's injured at Arsenal?
they have a long injury. Havertz is out. Saka is out. Let me just show you. They have a lot. Saliba is out.
Wow.
They have a lot of players out. That's what I'm telling you. There was actually something that was trending. Yeah, Ben White is out, Saliba is out, Nogard is out, Saka is out, Gabriel Jesus is out, Trossard is out, Havertz is out.
Wow, that's 7 players.
Yeah.
Okay, we had the Chelsea. We beat their record. We had like 13 or something under Pochettino. So that was.
But with Pochettino, the only thing he was doing in training, he was telling players to run. That's the only training that this Gakon press that he had. You are constantly running. You have players like Chris James and Chilwell whose hamstrings are made out of spaghetti, and you know very well they cannot run like that. You see, with Maresca, he's telling the team, if you don't want to run a lot, then know how to keep the ball. So Maresca is teaching them how to keep the ball. He's telling them, yes, maintain fitness, but also know how to. That's how Pep has been able to manage the league. Pep always ensures his team keep the ball, because if you keep the ball, you don't run a lot. But nowadays, he's unable to keep the ball because teams are better in pressing. Every team is good at pressing. Even Brighton can press you. Even Bournemouth can press the hell out of you. So that's why Pep is even struggling, because even his teams cannot maintain the ball. They can't keep the ball. Manchester City used to keep the ball even 80% possession in the first half. It's like the opposition just only had the ball when it was a goal kick, or when they're actually starting the game after conceding.
but this was the time. Hang on. But this was at the time when Man City had the psychological uphand. So in other words, when people feared Man City, Man City coming, they had that mojo, that it factor. And then once that fear factor had gone, and this is why now teams think, okay, Man City, we play them, we press them. We're saying back in the days, no team dared to play Man City like this because they were so scared. Mentally, there was the Radio City, they would just show off the pitch and at one point already, just from the name alone. But now that name has gone, that fear factor is gone. Now Pep is standing there thinking, how am I going to rebuild this? How am I going to get the mojo back? Because it seems to be like Liverpool now has that mojo. Liverpool now, they can, they are winning where they shouldn't be winning, and that is what it.
And that is the true mark of champions. That's the true mark of champions. You win even when you're not expected to win. Like, in my opinion, I am till today, I am very disappointed about that home win against Crystal Palace, because Cucurella gave Santos a very good chance. I don't know why Santos tried to hit that ball with his left foot. The ball was coming to him at the best pace. He just had to receive. I was praying, oh my God, I hoped Palmer was there. If Palmer was there, probably we win. If João Pedro had gets that ball, probably we win.
Don't you start on Palmer.
No, he will score that goal. He will score it.
When's the last time Palmer scored from open play? Come on, let's be honest.
He scored in the Club World Cup final.
Come on, that Mickey Mouse business. Don't start. We're talking about the Premier League here.
He's scoring next weekend. He's scoring next weekend against Brentford. He's scoring a hat-trick.
But I thought he's injured. He's come back.
No, he's back.
He's back?
See, yeah, I told you that a manager cannot say a player is back. I think he was even ready for the last game, because a manager cannot say he's okay, because Tuchel is going to take him and then play him in the national.
I see. Okay, very clear.
So Maresca was like, there's no need. Let's just say he's out, so that he can now get the rest. Maresca is also looking like these players did not get a huge summer. Yeah. But Palmer is there.
So he's basically, Palmer was injured, and he
trained today.
So to be extra sure, he gave him more time off, so that they're 100% sure that he's, even though they sorry.
He was. Which game were we? Oh, he was injured the West Ham game. He was not even injured. He felt something.
Mm-hmm.
So Maresca didn't try to use him, so he was out that game. Then in the Fulham game, Palmer was ready, but Maresca didn't want to play him, because if Maresca played him, Tuchel would have called him to the national team. and he would have been playing now. And
Wow.
if he plays now, probably, and that hamstring issue has not healed yet, he has not received rest yet. So you'll probably get a hamstring in the international break, and then you lose him for 2 months.
But since you know tactics and you know medicine and all that business, so you explain to me in sort of like street terms, when a player's hamstring goes, so are there different levels of injury of the hamstring, or is it just hamstring goes as hamstring, or is that how's that work?
They are different. There is a torn hamstring. There is a pulled hamstring. So a pulled hamstring is that some of us who play football, you'll realize that when you're playing, all of a sudden you're feeling like your thigh is a bit heavy. You find that you are not flexible. You see, when you are running, you are feeling like you're not slightly not flexible. You see, and then you are feeling like your leg is a bit heavy or something is a bit tight behind your thigh. So that's what you can say you have a pulled hamstring. Or when you have that niggle is when you are probably training and then you're feeling like your feet is a bit heavy. You have not gotten the hamstring, but you can feel like it's coming. Now, a torn hamstring is so bad because it will tear, you will feel pain, and then you'll have internal bleeding. So even you'll have around there. You didn't see the one Kane had that so Kane for the entire season. Yeah. So when you have a torn hamstring, you can be out even for 6 months.
So is this why when you see, let's just say a defender is one-on-one, let's say Saka is running down the wing and the defender is exposed. He has to now he has to run full speed, one-on-one. And then suddenly you see a defender. Suddenly he'll be hobbling on one leg and he's grabbing the back of his leg and his leg looks like a piece of wood or something and he can't move it. So this is like when the hamstring is stiffened up and the leg is just heavy. He can't stand on it.
He can't stand on it. And then probably when he was making that stride, he stretched his leg a lot, so he pulled it. So he pulled the hamstring. That's why he will touch the back of his thigh. He will touch the back of his thigh. But that happens when you're playing football so often.
But if you look at the case of Fofana, I think he's had quite a few hamstrings. Is it because of his style of play, or is it because maybe
some players it's all about their style of play? Like for example, I've never seen Jorginho having a hamstring or injured. Jorginho getting an injury probably is a knock on the knee or something like that. You see, it also depends with the way some players do. Like Fofana, I find him to be super mobile and super erratic in the way he defends. He likes to step out a lot. Yeah, that's how Fofana plays. He's super aggressive. When an opponent gets a ball ahead of him, Fofana will step out to go and win that ball. If the ball is played in behind of him, you'll see him running to go and try to make that tackle. But those are not things that you're going to see Tosin doing. Tosin will see probably the ball being played outside there, and he will just go back to hold his position. And wait
Tosin is sitting in a deck chair having a cigarette, man. And
I'm saying
he's cool. Tosin,
he's very cool.
He's cool. He's very. But I think it's because he's mentally, he's got a high football IQ, Tosin. Yeah. So he knows. He's a bit like what's the phrase? Silva, exactly. Two of the same kind of types, older, more experience, and they know where to be, where to place themselves, and he knows his limitations. At his age, he knows, let me not chase that guy there because my hamstrings will go or whatever. So he knows where to be, and so this is what comes with age and experience, and you can't buy that. You have to learn. And I mean, like you can even see Chalobah, how he's growing mentally from learning the hard way. I used to criticize him so much in the past because he would make some ridiculous errors, but he was obviously not experienced enough. But now, as time goes and the more trust they put in him, the better he gets. And who's his part? Who was that guy there who's injured? Colwill. Even Colwill, he's grown. He's grown from that business of throwing himself on the ground and rolling around, pretending he's injured, and always causing trouble.
You noticed when I was calling out that nonsense that he used to do.
Very annoying, and always complaining, and always, just sometimes keep quiet, concentrate on your game, and because you've spent too much. Yes, don't waste your energy on rubbish because you're not going. The ref is not going to change his mind. What's the point? You're just going to get booked, or you're just going to get so frustrated you're going to end up making errors. And other teams, they notice these things. They say, who's the weak link on that team? They're not mentally. Who can we provoke to do something very stupid that he'll get a yellow card or maybe a red card? Who can we get? Under whose skin can we get under? So they do all these analysis, and I'm sure Colwell's probably one of them. Think that guy, he's very very sensitive. So attack him. During the corners or during free kicks. Nudge him or pull his shirt or something. Do something to annoy him, and then he becomes very erratic. So mind games. A lot of it is mind games. So they do their research. It's a bit like when you see who was that? I saw the penalty. What's penalty shoot I saw where the goalkeeper made like 3-4 saves, and all the information, all the research was on the water bottle. They had written all the penalty takers. He shoots left, he shoots right, he shoots up, he shoots down. The goalkeeper knew exactly. Okay, this guy's come up. Okay, let me look at the water bottle. Oh, okay, he dived every single one. He dived the correct side. That's because they do their homework beforehand. And unlike Onana, that guy. So when they were playing, who was that team? That's the cup game. What the hell was that team they were playing? That team from when they lost. What's that team called? Grimsby. That guy, Onana, he didn't have a chance at any of those penalties. And I think, what is the point? You might as well put the piece of wood there because there was the same difference. The only thing Onana did well was to take a penalty. Otherwise, he was hopeless. And obviously, they didn't do the research because they probably underestimated Grimsby. Thought, there's no way it will ever go to penalties, so we don't need to do any research. And this is what happens in football. You don't underestimate any team. So, like Chelsea, don't underestimate Brentford because they are at the end of the day a Premier League team. They're not there because they're rubbish. And they did win last game, I think. Who did they beat? 3-0. Who did they beat? They beat somebody. Who was that? This last week.
Let me check.
Who?
Let me check.
They had to win their last game. So they're not dead and buried yet, but the signs are going that direction. Brentford is going to struggle, but they did win a big game here.
They were beaten. Brentford were beaten 2-1 by Sunderland.
They're not a great team. They're not a great team.
But before that, who did they won a game before that? I can't remember who it was, but they won.
No, they have not won this season.
Are you sure?
You're confusing them with
they won against Villa 1-0. A 1-0 win against Villa.
Yeah, so probably Christian, Brentford can just do that casual 1-0. But it will happen if Chelsea are stale, they are passing the ball sideways. But if we score the first goal, I'm telling you, if Chelsea score the first goal, we are going to win that game 4-0 or even 3-0. Because now they will come out to try and get a draw, you see. But if they score first and then they decide to sit back, it's going to be a long game.
That is true. But again, it's a team, they're probably thinking, this is not our battle. Our points, we're not going to get points here. We want our points against other rivals, mid-table teams and bottom teams. So sometimes teams in that situation, they choose their battles, so to say that, okay, we just go for an honorable defeat. And as long as we don't get killed, because if we get killed, smashed, then mentally it will sit and it's hard to get rid of. But if you go there and you lose like 2-1 or 3-1 or something like that, then it's okay. Then you can live with that because this is not our fight. Our fight is with the West Hams and the Nottingham Forests and whoever, but not against Arsenal or Liverpool, Man City. You can even throw Man United down in that list. By the way they've been playing the last couple of seasons, they now if they hadn't, they could have been relegated last season. Man United, the way their poor form was. So that's another one. That's another big pending issue. Amorim, will he survive or will he not? I'm hearing the pundits, the so-called Man United pundits, the rumbling.
Let me tell you something. let me tell you something, Christian. One thing that I've realized, the most uh, the most delusional bandits are the Manchester United bandits. I always find them with the lowest IQ when it comes to banditry. You have players like Scholes, good players. But when it comes to banditry, even the most, they will give you the most hilarious. They will give you banditry that you'll sit down and ask yourself, like, how did this person even come to this conclusion? You'll see Gary Neville telling you that Manchester United, that finished 15th last season, is going to finish above Chelsea. They have this strong affinity towards Manchester United. They are going to tell you that Mbeumo is going to be challenging for the Golden Boot and Manchester United are going to do this. And you're like, yeah, we know you played for Manchester United. We know you won titles for Manchester United. But can you be realistic? You know, sometimes you need to have players who are realistic. I always find Naden somehow realistic for ESPN. Naden is usually very realistic. I always even find Ian Wright very realistic.
But ESPN doesn't like Chelsea. They're always anti-Chelsea.
Yeah, I know they don't.
But the sad thing about, sorry to interrupt you, the sad thing about all those punters you mentioned is that somebody actually pays them millions to come up with such rubbish. This is what the sad thing is, that they make millions. And even on top of that, you saw Gary Neville, he's built his new empire there. What do they call that? He's got a sports... The overlap. That is actually pretty big, eh? And they always bring up that useless Chelsea fan, that guy there, Rory.
That guy is not. I think Rory thrives with making up controversial statements so that he can trend. I think that is what he does.
There you go.
I think he does it deliberately.
But he's just for me, he doesn't sound like a Chelsea fan. He's always downplaying Chelsea. He's always just so negative, and he's so. I don't like to listen. I just think it's sad that he's there as a Chelsea representative. But this is what they want. They want somebody who is not so upbeat. They want somebody who's negative on Chelsea, like themselves.
Chelsea.
Yes,
and they want somebody who's negative like them against Chelsea, and the person who's going to is going to put facts about them. That's why last overlap. This guy, what was this name? Scholes said that Manchester United have a better defense than Chelsea, and Rory is just sitting there, is not saying anything. He's like, yeah, you can see they have better defenders than Chelsea. And I'm like, why are you saying this? And we probably have more clean sheets than them, and we've conceded less goals than them. What are you saying?
But what else did Scholes say? What else did Scholes say would make Isak very happy?
He said something about Isak.
No, Isak, but he said it would make Isak very happy. It was something else Scholes said in the same overlap. He said that Garnacho is going to be fucking huge for Chelsea.
I don't think Garnacho is going to be huge.
That's what he said. Scholes said this guy he's a player. He's going to be special for Chelsea. That's what Scholes said. I was listening to the day. I don't want to hear this. And
Let me tell you something. I just want to see what Garnacho is going to give during Brentford's game, but I don't have any expectations on him because I think the club just signed him so that they can try to make more money selling him again. It's just that brand, because I don't understand how you miss out on Simmons to go and get Garnacho. You see, like Olise wanted to come to Chelsea. He was happy coming to Chelsea. But what did Chelsea do? Chelsea went ahead and sold Madueke, who they have sold. But if we had Olise, we'd have sorted out the right wing position.
Then I'll ask you the same question: is why was no club interested in this guy, the Goiknes monster for Goikares? Why is it only Arsenal, which the last moment they decided to sign him? No other team was interested in him. The scouts and they've looked at this guy, they've seen things and think, there's weaknesses of this guy here. He's not going to make it in the Premier League. And what we've seen so far, the scouts are right. And Arsenal's paid, I don't know how much money for that guy there. So that is going to be interesting to see how he pans out.
I also think one thing about Gyökeres is that, especially now that Arsenal has all these injuries, I think he will struggle a lot. I think he's that striker. If you're not on it in a game, you're not going to get the best out of him. He's not that striker who's going to... You see, like a player like João Pedro, the way he turned up against Palmeiras, He turned up against PSG. You know, he's that striker he's a clutch player. You see, the way Drogba was also a clutch player, he would score just during finals. Didier Drogba, you know, he's going to score a goal, but you don't know how he's going to score it. But Drogba is just going to pop up somewhere and score.
I think Gyökeres is more a counter-attacking striker. He's not so much into this box, and you know,
he plays like Chris Wood.
Ooh, very interesting.
Yeah, but Chris Wood, nobody has taken him away from Nottingham Forest.
Yeah, true. But I think same with Garnacho. If Chelsea is leading 2-0, you will see Garnacho how good he is, because then we can play in counter-attacking, and you know, obviously his speed is electric. That's where he's good. But build-up play where it's 0-0 or maybe losing 1-0, I have my doubts.
Okay, yeah. So just to conclude, because I think probably we have stayed quite some time, and I usually like people to come and watch the live stream again. You know, when you find somebody has put a live stream there for around 3 hours, you can't watch it. But if it's 1 hour, 30 minutes, you can say, let me watch it probably when I'm working. So what's your opinion on do you see Chelsea actually winning the next 3 games? Away at the next 4 away games, away at Brentford, away at Bayern, away at Manchester United, and away at the Carabao Cup.
Our friend first.
Yes?
Who's the other guy sitting there? I forgot his name. What is his name?
Isaac.
Isaac, and who's the other guy?
Kyle has left.
Kyle has left. Isaac, he's been very tough.
Isaac, just a minute. They have lost. They have lost to Senegal. I think that is why.
You're evil man. How can you say?
Isaac!
How much they lose by?
Isaac is angry. They have lost.
What was the final score?
2-3. They tried, but they lost.
So this is DRC Congo, not the other one, Congo.
No, it's DRC.
Imagine
Congo.
that we were 2 goals ahead. 2 goals ahead.
Jackson
scored. Can you imagine?
You see, this is what happens. These things come back to haunt you.
He talked ill about Jackson. Look at this one, he's coming in later.
Oh my God. You poor guy. I'm sorry. And
Mehdi, why are you late?
No
You're
problem.
coming in when we are leaving.
Oh my God. Bro, I'm so sorry. I fell asleep.
whoa.
Why are you living across the world? Why are you living in Australia?
Malaysia.
I'm sorry, man. I genuinely thought I'd be up. My bad, bro.
What's the time over there? It's 3 a.m.
2 a.m., yeah.
You should probably go back to bed.
I'm sorry, guys. I'll try next time.
There's no problem. You can just say hello.
Hello, everyone.
We were talking about the last 3 games. Odege was laughing at Isaac because Jackson knocked them out of the World Cup.
Oh, man. Yeah. I'm so sorry. I haven't even gotten out of bed, bro. I just woke up, I saw it, and I panicked. I clicked the stream quickly.
You're probably asleep.
Yeah.
He's still sleeping. He's dreaming, maybe.
Yeah, he's dreaming, maybe.
Alright, next stream then. Sorry, guys.
You can continue sleeping.
Okay. Take care, guys.
Hey, before you go, you have to answer one question, which he asked the whole panel.
Sure.
So would you rather have an honorable defeat to Bayern München but beat Brentford, or would you rather lose to Brentford but beat Bayern München? You have to answer that question before you go to bed. Back to bed.
Would I rather lose to Brentford but beat Bayern Munich, or
lose to Bayern Munich but beat Brentford?
I think I'd rather lose to Bayern and beat Brentford. I mean, that's more reasonable.
I think
Why?
today,
Any reason you can elaborate?
I mean, because it makes more sense. Like, if you lose 2-1, 3-2 to Bayern, it's not embarrassing. Like, expectations make sense. But if you lose to Brentford and you beat Bayern, it's kind of inconsistent. You don't know how to trust the team.
Or is it because you think that Chelsea is going to win the league, and if you lose to Brentford, you're already 4 points behind Liverpool, or whatever it is, 5 points, and you're already playing catch-up?
I mean, yeah, that too, but at the same time, like, you expect to beat Brentford, you don't expect to beat Bayern. If one happens and the other doesn't, it's a bit weird. You don't know what to expect from the team. It's like inconsistent in a way.
So would you play the strongest team against Brentford, or would you play a weekend team against Brentford?
I mean, obviously, I play a weaker team against Brentford, but that's because of expectations, right? You expect to beat, like, this Brentford relegated team, even with, like, not your fully fit 11 or starting best 11.
would you be comfortable with the pairing of Disasi and Benoit in that game? Because Disasi has said
Oh my God.
he wants to fight for his place. I see Isaac is happy about that.
What
My God.
a nice question. What a nice question.
I don't think I would be happy with Disasi and Benoit even against our under 9s, to be honest.
You can't
I will
you
play.
can't
I will play Jorel Hato and Achimpong for the entire season.
Oh, don't mention young players' names here. It's not allowed.
those are top players. Those are top players according to Chris.
They're young players. Not allowed to mention any young players in this program. You'll be banned. I'm telling you. Be careful. Walking a thin line here.
Christian, those are among the top players in the team. True.
Yeah. Well, what happened to Chimpong? He's something like he's lost his space or something. I don't know what happened there, even though he's been playing very well.
I think he might start the Brentford game.
Yeah.
But you have to rotate. He has to rotate, because if you don't, he'll be dead by the players will be dead by December with no summer break. You know, he has to rotate. He has no choice. So else you're going to burn out all these players.
Has Tosin been called up in the English national team?
No.
I don't think so.
Oh, okay. Then our defenders are there. So don't worry. Don't worry, Isaac and Mehdi. The Sansi will not.
Yeah.
Sanchez, he has to be rested, or he has to play all the games.
I'll let him play. What's the goalkeeper doing? Just standing
You
on.
know,
Does
Rhys
it
James is starting
Does it
again.
matter? Bro, I hope he doesn't get injured, man. That guy is, I don't know, man. He doesn't have bones in his body. He has noodles instead.
Who?
Rhys James.
James.
But you see one thing about Rhys James, Tuchel is using him bad. He's playing him as a wing back. I think he's not going
Exactly.
to start. He's not going to start.
I
You
hope
see,
so.
Tuchel is playing him as a right back. Oh my God, an overlapping right back. Oh my, he's killing our player. This tournament coach is killing our player.
That's because the coach has no ideas. He doesn't have ideas, isn't he?
Yeah, he doesn't know that Rhys James.
I mean, he's doing an okay job with England.
Odege is saying that.
I don't.
Odege is saying he's not better than Southgate.
He has no upgrade.
I mean, I kind of hear it, to be honest. They have, from what I've heard, they have been playing terrorist football, so I don't know. That's what Southgate would do as well.
Who was that
and
guy?
They lost
Southgate?
3-1 to Senegal. My God, bro! How do you lose 3-1 to Senegal?
Who was that guy Southgate always picked from Leeds? That guy there. What's his funny guy name? He was picked this
Calvin
player.
Phillips.
Phillips, what happened to him? Where did he disappear? He's just like gone off, fell off the face of the earth. I don't know what happened to him.
Injuries, and then I think he wasn't able to like get fit after his injury, and then he just went to Ipswich, and then they got relegated. I don't know what happened after that.
Wow! So from there, right up there to nowhere in a record time. That is pretty sad.
Yeah, actually.
And then they have a goalkeeper with no hands. A bit like Kepa. That's the name of the English goalkeeper. But he's pretty good. I like his command of the box. He's loud. What's his name? The goalkeeper, the English goalkeeper, small guy.
Pickford.
What's his name? Pickford. He's a strange one. On some days he's world class and unplayable. Some days where you think, "Eesh, this guy, what is he doing?"
Pickford always looks like he's taken crack before a game, bro. Have you seen like how angry he gets in some games?
Taking crack. I don't know about that. But he's very vital for Everton. Without him, Everton would have probably been relegated a long time ago. So that's another team.
We can't really is in our goal,
That's, by the way, Isak has to do a little bit of research. We don't talk too much about Everton. It's sort of like a very sneaky team. The new stadium with Lord Moyes back, they've been getting some good results. So we know nobody notices them.
People did have them pretty. The actions videos, people had them at like 9th. So I do think people do kind of give them. A fixture loss to Leeds was shocking.
Christian is lost. Everybody's lost.
I'm still here, but it's just our friend from Malaysia keeps breaking up.
But I've heard him quite well. I think probably it's on your end.
No, I'm just washing up. When you live alone, you got to do some things yourself. You got to clean up. You got to wash up. You got to clean everything by yourself. So this is unfortunately, there's no whatever. But let's not go down there. But yeah, I don't know what's going to happen with Chelsea. A lot of games. I think the best thing is just maybe we take one half of a game at a time, not look too far ahead.
How many games do you think we are losing in that?
So you mentioned I think we'll beat Brentford United. We should beat them. We'll lose against Bayern Munich. What's the other games? You said Lincoln in the cup there. We should beat them. Then United. We'll probably Benfica. You know the story about Benfica, don't you?
I think we are at home.
But you know that story about Benfica in Europe. There's a curse on Benfica. Did you know that?
No,
you didn't hear about. You never heard the story.
Ever since I'm surprised you don't know. Ever since this player put a curse on Benfica because he had a clashing with the board, and ever since his curse, they haven't won any European trophy. They've reached so many finals and lost. He cursed them for 100 years.
He cursed them for 100 years. So what happened was this manager, he won 2 Champions League for them, and he asked for a small raise in salary, and they told him to get lost. And so he resigned. But when he resigned, he placed a curse on Benfica that you will not win anything in Europe for the next 100 years. And now they've gone over 60 years, and they've just had bad luck every single time. And curses are real. Same thing with Liverpool, where there was a curse on them until some shaman came and did some kind of juju ritual or something. 29 years they went without winning the league. There was a curse placed on Liverpool.
Those are just superstitions.
That's the whole point. That's why they're called superstitions.
No, they're not real. Because Tudor, somebody said that Tudor's shaman told him that Pep will never win the Champions League with Manchester City, but he won it. Okay, so who placed the curse on Arsenal? when it comes to the Champions League.
Yeah, there's somebody plays the curse there for sure. But sometimes you can you can undo the curse by finding a shaman who come and do the reverse juju, like what happened in Liverpool. There, they got a shaman who came in there. Literally, you can watch it on YouTube. Went and they did his whatever business there, and put some chicken feathers here and there, and then. Huh?
I don't believe in those things. There's the former president of for the country that Isaac comes from. He was a dictator. So what happened is that this time his country was going to play in the World Cup. So they were going to face Germany. So he sent that guy to go and do some magic on the players. So the players thought that because this guy, they had this medicine man that he was going to do magic for them, they were going to win against Germany. They got slapped 9-0. So you realize that these things, if it was that African teams will be World Cup, we'd have African players winning Ballon d'Ors. That's what I'm saying. It's just things that people say.
Yeah, but
Benfica was facing tough teams in their finals. You see, when you're facing Real Madrid that has won Champions League twice in a row, then you face them the third time and they won it last season. They slap you and they win it again. So it's not about these things that people say.
He's 60 years and counting for Benfica, so I don't think they're going to win for the next 40 years in Europe. And
how many players do you think have cast Chelsea? Probably even your favorite player Jackson has cast Chelsea.
Yeah, but Chelsea has too many fans in Africa, so we have too many reverse jujus. We have too many reverse jujus. It doesn't work.
I don't think
all the shaman in Africa, they're all fans of Chelsea. This is why. So when they do juju, is protection. You know, I used to have a. I don't know if you know this in the Catholic faith. You can buy a chain. Saint Christopher protect us. You ever heard of this one? You can buy. There's the story of Saint Christopher who used to protect the women and children right across the river. But you can buy I have a chain, and I always wear it, and it gives you protection. And that is the Saint Christopher. You look it up, you'll see. And we got the Saint Christophers in Africa who do all the reverse jujus to make sure that Chelsea is always relevant and always there, and nobody can. In America, they say it's different. They say there's a black cat running around the stadium. You know, of some certain franchises. That's why they never win. So you've got to catch that black cat and take it to the animal shelter or do something to it, or otherwise you're not going to win. And some teams are like that. They just seem to have bad luck all the time. And I believe there's something in it. Obviously, I'm not true 1,000, but I just still believe that there's something in curses and there's something in bad luck which just doesn't happen by itself.
Let me just say something.
It could also be a placebo effect, you know.
But what I usually say about life is that
It could be a placebo effect, because like.
Yes. All right.
Yeah, go on.
Okay. One thing I always say about life is that we always look at bad things happening like they're an abnormality in life, but bad things are also part of life. Life is about good things and bad things. That's life. That's all life is about. Good things and bad things. Because you can also be so prayerful and then you get a bad life. It's not like the people who have succeeded a lot are the people who are good. Maybe some people even who are very bad and evil are the ones who are succeeding. So, yeah, but anyway, people are allowed to believe what they say. In my opinion, there's nothing on Benfica. It's just that they face tough teams when they reach the finals.
No. I mean, they've just had so much bad luck in so many last 30 years. You think this is statistically not possible. How can one team? This has always been. They will play.
Okay, we are going to make them play Manchester United in the next final. You see, the game Spurs a trophy.
You know that the stadium is going to go burn on fire or something. You know, something's bad's going to happen.
Come on!
So the game won't be able to be played. You know, something weird will happen there because both teams are being cursed. But Benfica, especially, look at their history. If you have time, just Google and see where you've seen some tournaments where they've been fantastic, all the games won to the semi-final, whatever, and all that, come to the final, unbelievably bad game, unbelievably bad luck, bad refereeing decisions, stupid injuries. You think, what the hell happened here? This does not make any sense. And it's happened to them time and time again. And this is, at least they made a lot of money. Benfica, you can say what you want about them, but they know how to make money by selling players. That they're very good at. It must be a very, very rich club.
Okay, anyway, guys, I think I have to leave now because I want to make a video now that I want to place tomorrow. But I'm really happy that all of you came. Though I was here for around 40 minutes by myself. Then Isaac popped in. Then you were issuing some comments there on the comment section, and then we got him from bed. So again, I thank you very much.
Can I interrupt you very quickly before you go?
Yeah.
You know, when you do your lives, when you speak by yourself, you're actually very, very, very good at when you speak on your own, by the way. And we have to compliment you. You're very clever, obviously high IQ. You answer questions nicely. You're very attentive and you're multitasking. I respect you tremendously.
Thank you. I think I learn sometimes from Terry. You know Terry. Have you watched Football Terrace?
Yeah, a little bit, not too much.
I think he does a great job. Mehdi, were you saying something?
Oh no, I just said yeah.
You just want to go back and sleep. No problem. Okay, thanks guys. Let's allow them. Isaac, I think, is currently mourning because his team has lost, but there is no problem. We'll get him next time. I probably think that we can. Chris, are you available during the day? Okay,
yeah, I do work, by the way, so this is not my day. Hey, before you go, how are the Harambe Stars doing?
Oh, we won 5-0.
5?
Yeah.
Against who? Seychelles or somebody?
We won 5-0 against Malawi.
What? You serious?
Yeah.
Oh my God! I shouldn't have asked this question. This is terrible. I shouldn't have asked this question. I didn't even know they were playing Malawi. Oh my God!
And Tanzania has lost to Niger.
Okay.
Tanzania loses all the games. I don't even bother sometimes.
Yeah, there you go.
So yeah, it's been a good day. So see you guys. Probably I'll set up a live stream on Sunday because tomorrow I'll be back to work in the evening.
Yeah.
Sure. So I usually work from around 2:00 to late at night, so that's why I cannot be found during the day.
So where do you find time to make videos when you work so late?
I wake up early in the morning, make a video, then post it in the evening.
Ah, I see.
Wow. Jesus, fair play, man. That's actually hard work.
I work a lot and it takes me almost 2.5 hours or 3 hours to make a video. Then Mehdi calls me old. And I'm very
people steal your material or your research.
Yeah. Yeah, and you have to also go back and research and watch what is happening and look at a player, look at his start. It's a very difficult job, but I always do it. And then I go.
You know, the hardest part of your job is, I think, for me, if I was making videos, is to go back and listen to the post-match interviews from players. They talk the same rubbish, the same thing on repeat. That must be so boring. You think, oh no, another one's saying the same old shit, and there's nothing new. And it is so destroying that business. Even managers, they just say the same thing.
You have to watch Jamie Carragher making his silly analysis on Monday Night Football. Just imagine how boring that is.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you need patience. But I think with AI can cut through all the bullshit for you. You know, you got to program it somehow to say, you know what, AI, just cut through all the usual standard nonsense. Give me some meat on the bone, if there's any meat on the bone. But most times there's not that much meat. Maybe just a little bit that you can use. But otherwise, normally, you're just wasting time. You think, oh God, another one. Then suddenly you will get a good manager. Let's say a manager like Maresca. He's normally very open.
I also like the Bournemouth manager. He's also good.
So they are open, and they'll tell you things which football related, tactics related, whatever. They don't try to hide. I like this type of manager. At least the interview is worth listening to or watching. Unlike some of the other managers who just think really.
Good evening.
Good evening. But even that was meat on the bone, because how long has that lived on? That has lived on for like now 5 years or something. It is something which gave the internet banter for 3 years. People lived off that, made memes for 3-4 years. Good evening, good evening. It never died. It still hasn't died.
Because it was bantering us.
Do you guys remember the boys did a good job?
Oh my God. We are now delving into other things. We need to set a live stream for that.
But the best one
Graham Potter.
Graham Potter. What about the other one? The boys showed great character. Who was that? Great character.
It was David Moyes.
No. Great character. Beautiful human beings.
Who said that?
He was a former Liverpool manager, now Celtic manager.
Oh,
Brendan Rodgers.
Brenda.
Rodgers. Yeah.
Beautiful human beings, great character. I don't think he said great teeth, but Colo Torre, you always mentioned him. He's like his son. And
okay, Christian, let's go. We are going to talk about this. You people, you're always active towards the end, but when we start, you're nowhere to be seen.
It's nice. I like to listen. I told you, I like to listen. This is why I don't join.
First of all, the first 30 minutes, then you can come in with substance.
But it's good to listen. No, come on, it's good to listen to what you have to say. It's like the monologue. You open the program, you introduce whatever it is you talk about, so people don't interrupt you. That's the whole point. You could speak in peace. But that is up to you. But if you want, we can join from the start. But I just think it's nicer for you. It's your show. You have a chance to say what's on your heart, and then once you've got your piece, then we can join. I prefer. This is what I prefer. But
I think that is better. I think that's okay.
Yeah, because you speak very well. You're a very intelligent man. So there's not because if you're boring or anything. But sometimes you feel alone. I notice. Think, nobody hears. But just carry on. Do your thing. So don't. Yeah.
So thanks again for actually joining all of you. And Mehdi, go back to sleep. Some of us, it's quite early. It's 9 p.m. So we have like around 4 hours. More.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.
Cheers.
Take care.
Okay.